I'd like to call now our final speaker for today, for this morning. We have Madam Sengdeuane Lachanthaboune, which I've probably horribly mangled, and I apologise for that. She's Deputy Minister in the Ministry for Education and Sports in Laos.
Good morning. Distinguished the Director General of Higher Education, Ministry of Education and Training, Vietnam. Distinguished the Director of British Council, Vietnam. Distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I am very honored and pleased to be invited to join this meeting to share some higher education challenges in our country with you. I'm sure from this meeting we can bring back ideas, lessons, and a lot of suggestions to improve our higher education reforming. I will do my presentation in brief, in 4 points, because the time's limit. 4 points. One is about education system reform strategy, 2006 to 2015. Actually, why we do the reform before 2006? Our government recognized that our education quality is not satisfied and cannot meet the demand of socio-economic development of our country, because the target of the government is to bring our country to quit the least developed country by 2020. That's why Ministry of Education and Sport, we formulate the strategy to reform the education, both general and higher education. And we have method, strategy, and contents, but I could not mention here. I just would like to say about could you please, I just would like to say that we divide into phases. The first phase is we focus on general education. Before we have 5 plus 3 plus 3, 11 years in general education, and it's very difficult to our students to go abroad to study, because like in Vietnam or some other country nearby, they have 12 years in general education. That's why by reforming general education, we add 1 more year in lower secondary school. So it becomes 5 plus 4 plus 3. And we review and revise general education curriculum and textbook by introducing competency-based curriculum. And also we start to teach English in grade 3 and ICT to senior secondary education. Of course, we cannot do it nationwide because of shortage of English teacher, as well as ICT teacher, as well as equipment, because it's huge amount of money. This is I just mentioned some points. Of course, there are many points that we do the reform. For second phase, technical and vocational training and higher education reform, including teacher education, start 2011 to 2015. We keep continue the rest of the education reform for general education and focusing on more on vocational and higher education. And second point, I would like to, for second phase, we set new education standard for technical and vocational education and training and higher education to meet the labor market demand and the socio-economic development of the country. And also we improve quality and efficiency of TVET, higher education and teacher training. Second point, I would like to talk about the evaluation of the implementation from first phase, and also midterm for vocational and higher education. because we start to do beginning of 2013. From the evaluation, there are major achievements as follows: general education curriculum reform and instructional material developed and distributed nationwide. National skills standards and teacher standards developed in Tibet, as well as pre- and in-service teacher training strengthened. Relevant courses, curriculum, and teaching materials in higher education improved. Quality assurance, accreditation, credit system, and teaching and research capacity, as well as teaching and learning facility, initially strengthened. But even we have some progress in the reform, but we still have many challenges that I will mention some. 4 points. One is about insufficient enrollment in Tibet. Why higher education enrollment are exceeded? For example, in 2011-2012, we would like to have 50,000 students enrolled in vocational and technical school, but we can get only 40,000. Among 40,000 students in vocational and technical school, most of them study like accountant or trade. Very little study in basic skill, vocational skills, very little, like carpentry or whatever, very few. But there is a need. That one is the need of our country, but very little students study. And rapid expansion of public and private education. We have many colleges, private colleges establishing in our country. We didn't call the university, but although they teach bachelor degree, some college teach master degree. Among 930 enrollment at master level, 792 were in MBA. So many prefer to do like a business administration. And we have in 2011-2012, we have 71,220 bachelor level enrollment, but we have only 11,500 students in size in different faculties. So mostly in we have surplus and shortage at the same time. And the fourth point is low quality of public and private higher education. In 2013, our Ministry of Education evaluate the 49 colleges, private and public, colleges and faculties. We found almost of them are not qualified, don't meet the standard. That's why we announced that from 2013-14, we close to the enrollment of students for bachelor degree and above in private colleges and also public colleges, where they don't meet the standard. There is a lot of complaint by students, by parents, and also by private institutions. But we would like to improve the standard. If they can improve the standard, we will let them continue. And the fourth challenge is an external challenge, is education ASEAN integration, WTO membership, and the government want to quit the least developed country by 2020. So our education is face a lot of challenges. Now I would like to talk about ways forward that you can share or make comments or suggestions to me. Some policy and directions for basic education and upper secondary graduates to continue their future education on the basis of meeting the National Development Agenda and goals rather than personal preference. So far, it depends on the student preference and the parents' preference. But in the future, we will improve this. A quota system needs to be employed to ensure a high education output, which meets sector demands for graduates to meet and complete the National Development Agenda. A need for targeted support to increase enrollments in certain faculties which are currently under-enrolled. We may create many incentives for them. Example, in vocational education, we provide a scholarship to all students, and we need to do more in collaboration with the enterprise, that when they graduate, they can have the job. And agreed need for better management and governance of a higher education system. More legitimate regulation need to improve and set up. We will do the national qualification framework for higher education. And a comprehensive review of student intake in higher education. As well, we need to reconsider the curriculum, both public and private colleges, to make sure that the student study there can have the credit transfer to university in ASEAN country. And I would like to share with you some challenges like this. You can see that we have internal and external challenges. I would like to welcome suggestions, advices, or whatever that we can share and to bring home to improve our education system. Thank you very much for your kind attention.